The Pulse. The Pulse. Townships interviews. Don't forget breaking news. The Pulse.
I'm William Crooks, and this is the Pulse of the Eastern Townships broadcast. Today we're looking at the human side of a devastating Easter morning fire in Stanbridge East. First, we hear from local resident Julie-Anne Verville, who describes how a routine drive turned into a rescue effort when she came across a barn engulfed in flames and realized people were still inside. Then, homeowner Alison Greenwood shares her account from inside the house, recounting how her family escaped and what life has been like in the days since losing their home. Here are those conversations. I'm William Crooks, and this is the Pulse of the Eastern Townships broadcast. In the early hours of Sunday morning on Easter, a routine drive through Stanbridge East turned into a life or death situation. In this interview, local resident Julie-Anne Verville recounts how she came across a barn engulfed in flames, realized people were still inside, and made the decision to step in before emergency crews arrived. She shares her first-hand account of what she saw, what she did, and how the events unfolded in those critical moments.
So maybe just start by giving a little bit about your background in Stanbridge East, and you're a townshipper?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you mind just give me a little short history?
I've lived in Stanbridge East since I was 19 years old. Yeah, I'm 45, going to be 46. I actually have a son and a daughter from a long line of Stanbridge East residents.
Okay, great.
There is even a book about them at the Mississippi Museum. Yeah, it's called the Baucus book. Yeah. I'm a medical secretary. I've been doing this since COVID. And, I have 2 children. And I'm a single mom.
Now, tell me a little bit. Tell me the story from the beginning, I guess. So you said you were driving by this house. It was in flames. Like, tell me how it happened.
Yeah, it was crazy, actually. Crazy story on how God works. Like, I don't know if you're religious or anything, but it's a crazy story. Happens that on the weekends, my boyfriend lives in West Bolton.
Okay.
So on the weekends, I stay there, but every second Sunday, I have to work. So I leave his place usually between 6:45 and 7 in order to get to work in Farnham. However, this Sunday, I had my son and my dog with me, and when we woke up, there wasn't any power. We ended up leaving like a half an hour earlier than usual. Yeah, we don't normally leave that early. We left early, and when we were coming through, I think we were by the wineries in Dunham, like Lac Péard and Union Libre. We got the smoke up in the air. I was like, okay, that's weird. But everyone was burning stuff the day before on the Saturday because it was so nice out, right? I didn't really think anything of it, but then when I got around the corner, I actually have a video, and I was like, what is that? I'm taking a video as I'm driving, and I'm like, no, that's not a brush fire. I'm like, that's someone's house on fire. And sure enough, when I got close, I know the person, the stepfather that lives there, and I was like, that's their barn that's on fire. And so I stayed a little bit back just because I was kind of wondering on how this was going to play. There wasn't any fire department, there wasn't anything on scene, and I was just I stayed back a little bit. Also because I couldn't really drive because there was black smoke crossing the whole road, you could not see, so it was dangerous. And there were people stopping, and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, well, there's a barn fire. And they're like, well, I got to get to work. I'm like, well, I have to get to work too, but I need to, first of all, be able to see when I'm driving, and I need to see if it's just the barn or if it's something else. And so finally, the smoke kind of goes up, so it gets away from the road, so I'm able to see what's actually going on. And I'm like, oh my God, the whole barn is completely engulfed, and you can hear like things blowing up in there, like, you know what I mean? Just one loud sound. And I still see people driving, and people are even turning around, like they're going to check it out, and they're going to turn around in the yard next door to that place that's on fire, and they're driving away. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. Like at first I was thinking, because I mean, it's volunteer firemen, so I'm like, they're just showing up, getting there early, and they'll meet up with a truck. No, these people are still leaving, and I'm like, what the heck? So I call 911. I'm like, listen, I've been watching this for like 3 or 4 minutes. This barn's on fire. It's really close to the house. I don't see anybody outside. There's no fire department. The wind is really strong. Like, I'm just kind of really worried about what's going on, so I just want to report the fire. They're like, okay, and they asked me the address, and I couldn't really tell because, like I said, there was so much smoke, and I just kind of described about where it is, and they said, okay, no problem. I call, so I get off the phone with 911, and they said that they were going to send people and whatever. I said, okay. And then, so I'm going closer and closer to where the house is, because now I can see without the smoke, and then I see that, okay, now the building attached to the house, because of the wind with the barn, is catching fire. And I'm like, I see nobody, but I see all of their vehicles there. This is really weird. And I see this little blue car, and I'm like, this person just driving around, turning around, like, doesn't really know what they're doing. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I wait another probably 10 minutes, and still no one's showing up. So I call 911 again, and I'm like, listen, I just called 10 minutes ago. There's still no one here. Now they're like, the little garage attached to the house is catching. I said, I see no one outside. I don't know if there's anybody inside, but this is dangerous, and the wind is really catching it. Like, it's a big barn that was on fire. I said, it's really dangerous. So they said, okay, well, we'll call them again and see what's going on, whatever. I said, okay. So then this guy in the blue car, he pulls up, because now I'm like right in front of the house, and it's an old man, and he's like, can you call 911? I said, I've called 911 twice. He's like, listen, there are 6 people inside this house. I said, what? This happened to be the grandfather. He said, there's 6 people in this house. No one's waking up. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
I call 911 again, and I said, listen, I just talked to the grandfather here. There's 6 people in the house, and nobody's up. Nobody's answering the door. Like, now this is dangerous because part of the house now is on fire. So they're like, okay. I wait like another 30 seconds, I'll tell you, like 30 seconds. So I get out of my car. I park. My son's in the car. I tell him, you stay by the car. I go, and I finally see 2 little girls outside in the driveway.
Okay.
They are screaming, losing it. And I'm like, come on. I go, like I'm in the driveway. So I feel the heat from the fire, the smoke, everything. I'm grabbing the girls. One of the girls has a dog with her. I'm like, come on, I'm going to bring you to safety. You got to get away from here. We don't know what's going to blow up. There's too many cars around here. Like, we got to get you out of here. And then they're like, my cat, my what? I said, listen, we're going to try and deal with that, but we're just going to get you girls to safety. So I grabbed those 2 girls, and I ran with them and brought them to the blue car of the grandfather that was there. I said, get in the car with the dog. Stay safe there. I turn around. The mother was just coming out. And I'm like, go get to your girls. Go see your girls. Like, she's standing there. I don't know what she was doing, but she's obviously freaking out. And I'm like, go with your girls. And then I see finally the stepfather coming out very slow with his mother with a walker. And I'm running because now, like, this is the scariest thing I've ever been through, you know? These flames, like, I don't know if these vehicles are going to blow up. Like, I know that we got to get away from here as soon as possible. So I run, and I'm like, let's pick her up. And they're like, she just had a hip surgery. And I'm like, well, we can get her to move a little bit faster. Like, so I just grabbed the grandma, and I lifted up her walker, and I had her lean kind of on me, and I shuffled her really quick to the vehicle that was waiting. I set her into the vehicle. We got her situated. Everybody was away. I called one of our mutual mutual friends. I said, listen, your friend's house is on fire. I just got them out, but we don't have enough vehicles for everyone. So he said, okay, I'm coming. And even he for the fire department. And so we got all these people, and we're getting them out of here. Girls are just, one of them with special needs, and she's just crying, and she doesn't understand. And I have to tell her, I hold her hand, and I said, listen, what matters the most is all of you guys are okay. Everything else is just stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, my cat's me sure. And I understand, I said, listen, we will try and see, but right now is not the time. We need to get human beings out of the house. So our mutual friend grabbed everybody and left with them. I went up. Finally, the fire department was showing up. I stopped a firefighter, and I said, listen, there were 6 people in the house. We got everybody out. There's no more humans. There's cats in there somewhere, but you're good to go. You don't have to try and save anybody's lives right now. Just deal with the fire. That was it. And I came home and changed my clothes and went to work, and then did a post saying, I don't know exactly what's going on with the house, but I know that these people just left in their pajamas and barefoot, and they're going to need stuff, at least essentials, just bare essentials for right now, and then we'll figure everything out later. So
wow, what a story.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So did the firefighters arrive by the time you left?
By the time when I was going to be getting into my vehicle, they were showing up. Yeah. I worked, and then when I finished work at 1 o'clock, I went back by, and there was still 1 or 2 fire trucks that were still there.
Okay, but was the house a total loss?
No, the house isn't, fire-wise, no. It burnt, the kitchen burnt. However, everything else is smoke and water damage. I was just so freaked out, and I was like, my brother was a firefighter, and my dad was a firefighter, and we always learned fire safety. My dad always made sure that we had fire drills. We always knew how to get out. We always knew all of this, all of these scenarios were always made, and he'd make sure he was doing a fire drill. He didn't tell us ahead of time. In the middle of the night, that fire alarm would go off. We had to get moving, and we had to get out, And early, that everything is just stuff. Don't go looking for someone else.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Get out, Yeah. And actually, my cousin, just a few years ago, there was a big house fire in Dunham, and she lost her 4-year-old son. And she had got him out, and she got out with the baby, but then her son went back in for the dog.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and they found the son with the dog deceased, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, that's horrible.
But so all of this is always going through my head, and I'm like, just get out.
Right, yeah.
Don't worry about it, just get out.
Get out and get as far away as possible, yeah.
Get out and get as far away from as possible. The girls were just way too close to vehicles. The fire was way too strong, you'll see, it was burning and cracking. In her video that she posted, you can hear, she's screaming. You can hear the little girl screaming.
Okay.
You can hear the fire snap and crack. It was just huge. It was one of the scariest things I've ever been through. I said, I'll never forget Sunday. I'll never, ever forget it in a million years.
That was Julie-Anne Verville sharing her account of the Stanbridge East fire. No injuries were reported, and officials say the cause of the fire remains under investigation. Fire Chief Todd Gerard confirmed the barn was fully engulfed when the crews arrived, with damage extending into the home. You can read the full story on pulsetownships.com. I'm William Crooks, and this is the Pulse of the Eastern Townships. Part of today's episode is a follow-up to a devastating Easter morning fire in Stanbridge East that forced the family to escape their home in a matter of minutes. We're speaking with Alison Greenwood, who was inside the house when the fire broke out. She shares what happened that morning, how her family managed to get out, and what life has been like in the days since losing everything.
Maybe start from, I guess, the time that you woke up and tell me your version of events.
Okay. Sunday morning, Easter morning, we were all sleeping. Somebody came and knocked on the living room window pointed at the fire. So then when we discovered the fire, it was already completely engulfed. Coming into the garage, which is attached to the house. I had my twins with me. One is handicapped. I had my mother-in-law with me, which is 83, just had a hip replacement. Charlie, my boyfriend, he emptied out 4 extinguishers trying to get the door open so we could get out of the house. The kids.
Okay, so sorry. So that was the door blocked by fire?
The smoke was coming in just like in the movies. The fire was very close. My twins got out. One of them carried the dog out. I was trying to hurry up. Charlie's mom, I just call her mom too, to get out. I finally got out. My hair started to burn. I had all these little black curled up hairs on my hair.
Right, from the heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie got burnt on the forehead. I don't know how. He don't know how. I don't know. I think something fell on him. He got knocked on the forehead. When I was starting to get out of the house, and I'm telling you, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, look, and that's it. And the kitchen was already engulfed. Julie-Anne helped us get away from the house, help Mom and Charlie help Mom get away from the house. No police on the site, news or nothing. You know, we got no place to go. The house it's done. There's nothing that could be saved, really. I'm just going to try to go in and, you know, get sentimental things if I can. And I just don't know. Julie has been very helpful with donations and getting the word out. We're still under shock. There's not a day that goes by that I don't cry like 10 times a day. The kids, my handicapped child, Kaylee, she lost her cat. I don't know where mine is, so I lost her. So we got 2 cats and a dog out. But everything's done. It's water and soot and everything everywhere. It went too fast to be just a normal fire. Because with all the rain that we had, and you're gonna tell me that the barn caught on fire in a corner? Come on.
Now, how? So Julie-Anne is helping. Have the community done anything else?
We have a lot of people donating. Yes, my boyfriend has way too much clothes. The girls and I don't. I had to go just the girls to get only 3 pairs of pants and 3 shirts and underwear and bras, and that freaking cost me almost $700 yesterday only for that. We were not insured. We couldn't afford it. His dad got there in the morning, and it was fine. There was absolutely nothing. No smoke smell, no fire. He turned around 5-10 minutes later, and it was completely engulfed.
Normally, the Red Cross shows up to help out. Did that not happen?
Showed up at a friend's place. They gave us blankets. They gave us a prepaid card. But of course, it's a lot for that when you just say it, but when you spend it, it's not a lot. You know, we got under $2,000. It's going to go fast, and that's all we got. We're working with a social worker to help find us another place to live, and donations and everything. People are trying to donate furniture, but I have no room. I have no place to live. We're lost. My kids go to school. One goes to school in Farnham. That she's okay. The taxi picks her up. But my other child, she goes in Bedford here, and then I have to bring her to Bedford all the time because I'm staying in Townsville for now at my son's.
Okay, I was going to ask, where's everybody staying now?
Townsville. We are 8 people in a 4.5. Yeah, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
I have no money. I have nothing left.
Yeah.
I am 53 years old, and I have nothing left. And I didn't think that I'd have to start over again in my life. It's very hard. It's very, very hard.
Okay. Well, if more people want to help. Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah, everyone got out safe. That's the most important part for sure. If more people want to help, how do they reach out? Is there has anything been set up yet? Like, you're aware of GoFundMe, right? A lot of people in this situation use GoFundMe.
The social worker is supposed to set that up for us. Yeah, but like for the stuff, just contact Julie, and Julie brings it over to another friend's place. My boyfriend always goes because they're best friends there. So just contact Julie, and it should be good. I don't have. My mind is not there to do this.
I understand.
I just can't do it.
Okay, are you and Charlie? Sorry if this is an insensitive question, but are you able to go to work, keep working? Have you been given time off? Like what's going on?
We don't work. Both medical. We're both on like medical leave there. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, sure.
I can't work right now. You know, I had a big accident in 2022, and my back is just shot. But yeah, and he can't work because of his meds and everything. They're trying to fix all that around for him. Yeah.
That was Alison Greenwood speaking about the fire that destroyed her family's home in Stanbridge East. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. In the meantime, community members have been stepping up to support the family as they work to rebuild. You can read the full story on pulsetownships.com. You've been listening to 2 first-hand accounts of the Stanbridge East fire, from the moment it was discovered to its impact on the family at the center of it. No injuries were reported, and officials say the cause of the fire remains under investigation. In the meantime, community members have been stepping up to support those affected. For more details on ongoing updates, you can visit pulsetownships.com. I'm William Crooks. This is the Pulse of the Eastern Townships, and always remember, keep that finger on the pulse.
The Pulse. Townships interviews. Don't forget breaking news. The Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse. Broadcast just for you. Are you heading out for a cruise? Or lying there for a snooze? The Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse. Broadcast just for you. Hey, I know that guy. Hey, I know that gal too. The Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse. Broadcast just for you. The townships are the muse. Make sure to choose the Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse. The Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse, the Pulse. The Pulse of the Eastern Townships broadcast just